Hey, what's up guys? Zach here and welcome back to VGL. Today we've got some amazing news in regards to the Borderlands franchise, and it seems like Take-Two Interactive has actually acquired GearBox software, so we've got a lot to cover today guys. But before we get started guys, if you could drop a like on this video, subscribe with your notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any future upload, and yeah, let's break it down. So the first bit of news that I actually wanted to cover was talking about the actual acquisition of GearBox software. So let's kind of cover that before we start talking about the future of the Borderlands franchise. So this article actually comes from gamesindustry.biz, and it starts off by saying that Take-Two Interactive to acquire GearBox from Embracer for $460 million, and Randy Pitchford to remain the leader of the Borderlands developers. It goes on to say that Take-Two Interactive will acquire developer GearBox from Embracer for $460 million. The deal for the studio, which operates out of 3 offices in the US and Canada, is expected to complete sometime in June. GearBox is responsible for the Borderlands series, which was published by Take-Two, and the two were already working together on the next Borderlands game. Alongside Borderlands, Take-Two is also the ownership of Homeworld, Risk of Rain, Brothers in Arms, and Duke Nukem, alongside future GearBox titles. Take-Two Interactive says that GearBox are working on 6 titles, including 2 Borderlands games and 2 Homeworld titles, plus at least 1 new IP. It goes on to say that GearBox will operate within Take-Two's 2K label and will continue to be led by the founder and CEO Randy Pitchford. So definitely nice to know that there's not a lot of leadership changes going on. It continues by saying the Embracer Group picked up GearBox in a deal potentially worth $1.3 billion in 2021, with an upfront cost of $363 million, of which $175 million were the Embracer shares. It goes on by saying this sale is a part of Embracer's ongoing restructuring program. It follows a $2 billion deal falling through for Embracer, resulting in multiple layoffs and the closure of the studio. Earlier this month, it sold Saber Interactive and Associated Studios for $247 million, and this is the statement from Take-Two Interactive, in which it basically says this: our acquisition of GearBox software is an exciting moment for Take-Two and will strengthen our industry-leading creativity talent and the portfolio of owned intellectual property, including the iconic Borderlands franchise, said the CEO Strauss Zelnick. This combination enhances our financial profile of our existing projects with GearBox and also unlocks the opportunity for us to drive increased long-term growth by leveraging the full resources of Take-Two Interactive, and that would be across all of GearBox's exciting initiatives. 2K's boss David Ismailer added, with nearly 20 years of history of working together, GearBox has played an integral part in our success, given their unique ability to create interactive entertainment experiences that feature beloved characters, exciting new worlds, and humorous storytelling. And Randy Pitchford also stated that this new partnership will allow GearBox to ascend to our next level. He goes on to say that I'm incredibly excited about what we can accomplish now that we're fully aligned as one. So some awesome news when it comes to the future of the Borderlands franchise, as well as the leadership over at GearBox software, and that Take-Two Interactive is fully aligned with everything moving forward in the future. Even with the acquisition, it doesn't seem like a lot's going to change. So some awesome news. So now diving deep into GearBox Software's next projects, I wanted to touch on this article over at gamesradar.com, where they're basically breaking down Borderlands 4 and some of the numerous projects that GearBox Software has in the works. So the article starts off by saying that Borderlands 4 is in active development and is just one of numerous projects Take-Two plans to release with GearBox Software. It then goes on to say that GearBox joins Rockstar in 2K and Take-Two Interactive, and the article continues by saying that GearBox Entertainment has revealed that Borderlands 4 is in active development and is but one of several projects that the developer plans to release with the new owner, Take-Two Interactive. It says that a press release reveals that Take-Two Interactive, the publisher of games of Rockstar, 2K, a private division, and more, is in the process of acquiring GearBox Entertainment after buying it from Embracer, who sold it for $460 million after acquiring it for $1.3 billion just 3 years ago. In a statement regarding the purchase of Borderlands Studio, 2K's president David Ismailer revealed that the developer is now working on the next installment of the franchise. He goes on to say that we are thrilled to welcome Randy Pitchford and his team of passionate, talented developers to 2K, and we look forward to releasing numerous projects in the future as our colleagues. It goes on by saying that we have always loved partnering with GearBox Software on every iteration of the Borderlands franchise, and we're excited to be in active development on the next installment of the series. The announcement doesn't go as far as calling this project Borderlands 4, but since this is the next installment and the last one was called Borderlands 3 in 2019, it's a fair guess that this is potentially the next mainline title. So pretty cool, a little confirmation that the next Borderlands game will be called Borderlands 4, but could potentially change in the future. The article finishes off by saying that we've heard whispers of a new Borderlands game since late 2023, after both Borderlands 4 and Tiny Tina's Wonderland 2 were both name dropped by the developers. Not too long after this, Gearbox's co-founder Randy Pitchford said that the unannounced announced Borderlands game was the greatest thing we've ever done, despite there not even being a full reveal just yet. Before Borderlands 4, we've got the Borderlands movie, which it was said to kick off the Borderlands cinematic universe and release this summer. Clearly, Gearbox and Take-Two have a lot of plans with the upcoming Borderlands IPs, so definitely a lot to look forward to. So wrapping up, we know that Borderlands 4 is in development, and that is thanks to the statement from Take-Two management sent to the press upon them acquiring Gearbox software. But beyond that, there's nothing been revealed in terms of gameplay or a potential release time or release date, which characters may be returning to the sequel, and all of this was actually confirmed by Randy Pitchford over at Gearbox Software. Given the current length of the game's development cycles, the fact is that Tiny Tina's Wonderland released almost 2 years ago now. We wouldn't necessarily anticipate seeing a Borderlands 4 anytime soon, but it could be as early as 2025 if it's similarly scoped to the sequel to Borderlands 3, especially seeing as Borderlands 3 and Tiny Tina's Wonderland had similar gameplay elements. It's possible though that Gearbox is aiming higher for the next installment of the series, shaking things up with additional gameplay elements and new features. Should that be the case, the game might not even be released until 2026, and the development could take longer. But for now, that's just speculation on my part. We'll just have to wait and see what Gearbox has to say in the upcoming year, especially since the acquisition hasn't even officially went through. I think they fully acquired Gearbox in June, so who knows, if we're lucky by then, maybe Gearbox Software and Take-Two Interactive come out and actually give us a reveal for the next Borderlands game. But since Borderlands 3 came out 5 years ago, a lot has happened in terms of technology and game design. So hopefully Borderlands 4 has a significant evolution for the series. And with the revenue backing of Take-Two Interactive, Gearbox Software should be able to accomplish so much more for the series. Last but not least, I wanted to touch on this Reddit post from the r/Borderlands community, in which they're basically talking about what we can expect for Borderlands 4. So it starts off by saying the community is expecting around the time of the Borderlands movie to be released that we get a trailer for the next Gearbox IP, whether that's Borderlands 4 or Tiny Tina's Wonderland 2 or even another game. Then it goes on to say that what we can expect for Borderlands 4. The first one being that Lilith is not dead, with the second one being Ava is in control of Sanctuary 3. Number 3, Pandora is still in danger. The fourth one being that some of the gameplay implemented in Tiny Tina's Wonderland will make a return. Melee props and maybe a system similar to the Lucky Dice might return. Hopefully legendaries will not world drop as frequently as they did in Borderlands 3 in the early iterations. Also, the idea of single pressing selling junk items should return. That'd definitely be a nice quality of life change. It goes on by saying that what the community is asking for. Number 1, we want a villain who is on the caliber of Handsome Jack and the Dragon Lord. We want more good legendaries that don't actually suck. Number 3, the end of nerfing guns and keeping debuffs to a minimum. Everyone loves the liquid cooling, then Gearbox made it a sin to own one by nerfing the hell out of it. Number 4, the return of pearlescent rates. Number 5, the return of the UVHM and a higher level cap to reasonably allow it. Number 6, campaign DLCs, not side quests disguised as DLC. Number 7, Hellfire as a doll SMG. Number 8, a crossover with other games in the Borderlands series. He goes on by saying, I would love to see what happened to some of the other Borderlands characters. And then finishing up at number 9, he goes on by saying that I believe in 2021 the community asked for a character based on the Goliath class. Maybe his action skill causes him to rage, and one of these capstones should be something calling him back to Goliath, where the rage duration shrinks, but at the cost of kills causing a level up in melee damage. Definitely some awesome stuff to hear about for the future of the Borderlands series. It also seems that Gearbox Software has a lot of other projects that they're cooking up. It's nice to know that there is a 4th installment in the Borderlands franchise that is confirmed by Gearbox. It definitely has a lot of hype to live up to. But guys, I think that's going to wrap it up with today's video. Let me know in the comment section one thing that you'd love to see return in Borderlands 4, or even a feature you'd like to see them implement in a new game. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This has been Zach with VGL. I'll catch you in the next one.